Comptroller Barbara Miller-Williams says that she will now be appealing a recent decision that would compel her to go to the bond market for the 2025 capital budget. Now, this has, of course, been an ongoing stalemate between city officials, and 2 on your side's Nate Benson has been following it very closely for us for a long time. He joins us now with the latest. Nate?
Yeah, good evening, Scott. I could not secure the rights to Tom Petty's hit "I Won't Back Down" for this story, but that's how one could sum up the sentiment from City Controller Barbara Miller-Williams when it comes to this bond issue. Fun fact about me, I kind of prefer the Johnny Cash cover of that song over the original. Anyways, City Controller Barbara Miller-Williams addressed the media Tuesday, saying that she will appeal that 4th Department decision last month that agreed with the lower courts, saying that the Comptroller must go to the bond market for the 2025 capital budget. Her reason?
This appeal is about more than a legal question. It is about reaffirming the role of the Comptroller. The Comptroller's office should never, ever be regulated to spectator status.
One thing to remember, all of this is happening because former acting Mayor Scanlon and Councilmember Mitch Nowakowski sued the Comptroller last year after she failed to go to the bond market when the council approved a $109 million capital budget, well over her recommended cap. News of her appeal is frustrating for lawmakers.
And again, the fact that she's been told by 2 different courts unanimously, there's not one person that's sided with her in this argument so far. It's absurd at this point.
And the Comptroller rejects the notion that she's being an obstructionist.
I'm not digging in my heels. I am protecting the taxpayers and citizens, their financial well-being.
But the financial impact of this stalemate is being felt by taxpayers and with city projects. The Comptroller maintains that her refusal to go to the bond market over the recommended cap last year
saved approximately $6 to $7 million by not increasing debt. The money that I would have went out to borrow would have more than likely sat on the shelf.
However, shovel-ready projects like the one on Main Street that broke ground on Monday could not start because the city needed capital funds to kick it off. That project specifically will now cost at least $16 million more than it would have if it started last summer. That's according to DPW Commissioner Nolan Skipper. What do you say to city taxpayers who now have to pay 25% more to get Main Street paved?
I say to them, 25% more on the project versus approximately $7 million in savings, you do the math. Yes, we know everything is going up. When you say, what do you mean by that? Because I didn't go to the market, that was like almost $7 million that debt that we did not incur. So you can look at $7 million or you can look at 25% of a particular project.
At the time of my questioning, the City Controller did not know that the Main Street project totaled $16 million in additional costs because of the bond delay.
Now, the project that you're referring to was a project under the Brown administration that we had already went to the market for anyway. That's not a brand new project that happened yesterday. That's an old project has finally gotten out the door.
So you're saying City Hall, the mayor's office, who just confirmed with me that because of this issue holding it up, they're either lying or wrong?
I did not say that.
Well,
I agree
they're saying
with
it's 25% more.
So I agree with you. If that's the stats that they're putting out, I am not disagreeing with you. I am saying to you, if it's 25% more, that's what's happening in today's world. I don't know the dollar amount of what that 25% is. I have no idea. But I would surmise that it's not greater than almost $7 million.
Based on the increased cost of the Main Street project, $16 million is in fact greater than $7 million. Now, once again, the Comptroller has to request her appeal to be heard by the state's highest court. It's not guaranteed, and she has to submit that request no later than May 27th. On your side, Nate Benson, Channel 2 News.